What's up everyone, Landon here with LMR.com. Welcome to my overview and install on this strut mount sleeve kit from 5.0 Resto, designed for the 1985 to 2004 Mustangs. This kit from 5.0 Resto is going to appeal to the Fox body and SN95 enthusiast out there who is needing to replace crucial front end suspension components. In this kit will be 2 strut sleeves, 2 metal cable ties that are going to retain the sleeves to the lower strut bushing, an upper strut shaft sleeve, and of course, an upper bushing. 5.0 Resto designs this kit to work with a factory upper strut mount, which makes it perfect for any of you guys installing a new set of struts, or you're needing to replace any of these components for your restoration project. Now, as far as fitment is concerned with this particular kit, it will fit all 1985 to 2004 Mustangs, except for the SVO model. Today we're going to be installing this particular kit into our 1990 Fox body. To begin the install, support the car via a lift or jack stands. If you're going to be working off of jack stands, you'll only need to support the front of the car. Go ahead and remove the front wheels. Now, since the sway bar end link is attached to the sway bar, this is going to keep the spring fully seated. If you have aftermarket ball joints, ensure that the grease fitting is removed. Support the control arm by placing a small block of wood in between your floor jack and ball joint. Remove the 2 17mm caliper retaining bolts. Move the caliper up just enough to allow access to the strut to spindle hardware. For the top hardware, utilize a 24mm socket on the nut and a 21mm box end wrench on the bolt head. For the lower hardware, use a 24mm box end wrench on the nut and a 21mm socket on the bolt head. Apply WD-40 to the upper strut mount retaining nut. Loosen and remove this nut with a 24mm socket. Lower the jack until the strut shaft is free from the strut tower. Remove the strut to spindle bolts. The strut is now free to come out. Remove the lower bushing and spacer. Leave the bump stop in place. Be sure and replace this with a new bump stop if it's deteriorated or dry rotted. On a workbench, install the new lower bushing assembly into the new sleeve. Slide the end of the zip tie through the opening. Use a pair of needle nose pliers and apply tension to the zip tie by rotating the pliers. Cut the metal zip tie approximately 1/4 inch from the lock. Rotate the end of the zip tie inward to tuck it out of the way. Go ahead and slide this over the strut shaft. Reinstall the strut into the car and ensure that the strut shaft passes through the strut tower opening. Install the new shell and upper bushing. Position the large washer over the strut shaft and then thread on the retaining nut. Go ahead and align the spindle with the strut. Reinstall the bolts. Thread on the nuts. Reposition the brake caliper and ensure that it doesn't fall off of the caliper when retightening the strut to spindle hardware. Use the same combination of tools to retighten the strut to spindle hardware as you did to remove it. Reinstall and fully tighten the caliper retaining bolts. Fully tighten the strut shaft retaining nut. Remove the jack and reinstall the grease fitting back into the ball joint. Reinstall the wheel. Repeat these steps for the other side. Get the car on the ground, and then you're all finished. All right guys, as far as installation goes on this kit, it's pretty dang straightforward. A floor jack, a few jack stands, and some basic tools will easily get the job done in your driveway. And as you can see, our nice strut is now protected from dirt, dust, and debris thanks to the sleeve, and we can drive around town with some confidence thanks to our new bushings. Now, one last detail before I turn you guys loose. Depending on the amount of wear that the factory bushings had, it may be in your best interest to get the car down to your trustworthy local alignment shop so they can double check your alignment. To see more how-to and review videos covering industry-leading products, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like this video and don't forget to turn on notifications. While you're at it, check out our other videos and don't forget to shop LMR.com for all things 1979 to present Mustang and of course, the best truck ever made, SVT Light.